All right, we're doing another ice bath this afternoon. I thought I would key everybody in and show you how it goes. So we're right about at 39 degrees right now, which is about where I like it. It's actually now I'm down into 38s, but like I said, this tub, I'll add 100 pounds of ice to it, fill it up with there, and like I said, it usually gets me down into at least the high 30s. We're probably 37 here in a minute. If I stirred it again, I'm sure it'd go into the 37s. Yep, there we go. So we'll do the thing. I'll just show you all the boogers in my nose. Sorry about that. We'll do a different angle here. uh, yeah, so here we go. It always takes a little prep. I've been doing it now for about 5 weeks, and getting in is always the hardest part. And once you get in there, you're like, oh, I'm so glad I did this. But anyway, here we go. All right, so right here, I'll typically start with just a quick head dunk and get my faculties right. I'd probably, normally I think if this is a little bigger, I'd do it. Actually, just get in the tub and do it. But it's it's hard in the tub. You got to hold yourself down, and it's not very pleasant. So anyway, I'll do this for, I don't know, 5 seconds or so. Whew. All right, so that's the first. And then I'll throw on one of these because I was getting the ice burns on my back. I lean up, get in there, get in that ice. It gets pressed up against your skin, and it'll actually burn it. So I stopped doing the bare skin thing. I'm probably gonna build a chiller using one of those chest freezers. Um, Buy one on KSL for a few $100s, and then maybe a couple hundred more into some sealant, hand sealant, whatever. But anyway, I've got a ton of other stuff on the list that needs to be done. So, right, that's life, huh? You check boxes every day, and you're grateful that you're able to do it, because a lot of people aren't. So that's the take home. But I'll tell you this: if you're struggling with anything, especially mental health, this is like an on-off switch. I mean, it's amazing. I'm a science guy. I like data. I like evidence. I like solid evidence. And I'll be honest. My wife suggested this about 6 weeks ago, and um, I took the ice out of the ice maker, dumped it in the tub, and got half my body basically in there, and just that was enough for me to go, oh, there's something here. Immediately went and bought this tub. I paid about $100 for it or something. It's just a water trough. Got it from Cal Ranch, and it's been a lifesaver. I mean, it's awesome. I haven't even, I will, obviously, just because I'm curious, but the results have been so stunning that I really haven't even spent much time researching it. Researching the specifics, the biochemistries, the just basically any research that's out there, and there's a ton. But anyway, I'm just procrastinating because I don't want to get back in.
usually get in, let my legs acclimate a little bit. A lot of people like to just jump right in and go for it. You do what you do. I mean, whatever works for you best. There's no, I don't think there's a right or a wrong way. It's however is best for your brain to handle. You know, some people have to go in easy, some don't. I typically go in pretty easy. I don't usually start my timer until I get in the tub, like until I'm up to my neck. And then from that point, I'll go to whatever feels good. Usually it's, you know, when I start shivering and I can't control it. You know, and sometimes it just depends on the day. It depends on, you know, just a couple of degrees temperature, you know, when you're in the 30s, makes a big difference too. You know, if you're 33, 34 as opposed to 38, 39, that's 2 or 3 minutes worth. So, but, you know, I'm not feeling in my legs anymore. I'm not feeling the pins and needles or anything like that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get in and sit down and hopefully try to carry on a conversation while I'm in there. The other thing I'm gonna do, just because it was bugging me the last time, is tuck in, because it floats, and I know I'm not procrastinating this time. It's just minimizing stupid things that break the concentration. It's once you get used over the ice thing, then it gets a lot easier to break your concentration. Well, to stop it, it's just as easy to refocus as always, but it's, yeah, anyway. I always get those short little breaths right in the beginning. There's not much I can do about that. I've tried, you know, done a bunch of prep beforehand. The key is just exhaling fully. And kind of training your diaphragm just to relax. But it's that, I think it's the warm air moving in, you know, your body. I've known about a million. Lean back. So I used to skin dive when I was in my early 20s. I got into the breath hold thing, practice. Was in the water every day, and I think my record, you know, out of the water, my record, breath hold record was about 5 minutes and 45 seconds or so, plus or minus a couple. Underwater, I never hit the 5 minute mark. I could sit, you know, pretty regular to 4. If I wasn't doing anything, if I was just underwater. But a good, you know, if I'm free diving, if I'm actually diving down trying to get depth or with spear hunting or whatever, you know, a good dive was 2.5, 3 minutes time. So part of the technique that you use to do that, I mean, the signal to breathe is not, most people just assume it's a lack of oxygen in the blood, but it's not. It's a buildup of carbon dioxide, so the byproduct of respiration. So when you normally breathe, you're breathing off the top third of your lungs. So you have residual carbon dioxide right there in the lungs. So the way that you trick the brain into not signaling to breathe so is to hyperventilate and take some deep breaths and cycle out some of that carbon dioxide that just sits, you know, residual in your lungs, because you're only breathing off the top third. You're not really stirring that up. So
that's the first way. But then the second way, obviously, is to slow everything down. If your heart's beating slower, then you're going to be exchanging less oxygen. You're exchanging, burning, not exchanging. You'd be burning oxygen, less oxygen, and you're leaking more breath longer. Other things, don't use your big muscles. So good pike dives and weight properly weighted can just let you sink down to how deep you want to go. Anyway. The last thing that really helps is if you're in cold water, you splash cold water on your face and your arm with colder water, and what happens? There's a physiological reflex or a physiological process that happens called the mammalian diver's reflex. And what the brain does is it shunts the flow of blood to the extremities, so to your arms and to your legs, and concentrates it in the core so that it can keep it, so that you can keep it warm. So having the blood flow focused in, just the thorax, right in and around the lungs, where you're having the outside air in and out. Sorry, shiver a little bit. Outside air in and out, that warms your blood up. So I think, and the reason I even think about this is because I know that when I'm in here, if I start shivering, I can actually focus on my breathing, and I can stop the shivering. So now that I'm shivering, I'm trying to do that. So if I can be quiet for a second. So I think we're probably about 5 minutes in here now, but anyway. I will say this, it's much easier when you're not trying to talk and trying to think. When you can focus everything out or block everything out and just be. We just have that one thing. No competing voices, if I don't do this or if I don't do that or if I just goes away. Just melts. It's like there's nothing like it. I'm in the water all the way up to the chin. I feel like it's probably about 36, maybe 37. Most people watch this and go, that would be hell, it would be horror, but it's peace. It's your brain just turns off all of the panic, all of the pain, physical or mental, it just turns it off. It can't process it all, so it turns it off. Get floods you with endorphins, and you get euphoria, even though you're shivering. Okay, now it's confirmed. Chris Owl is a bag of mixed nuts. He is gone. Yeah. I haven't gone anywhere. I'm in the same place that I've always been since the very beginning. So, anyway, those of you that have made it this far and actually watched all of this, wow, you're great friends. Thank you. I can't believe that this is too terribly entertaining, but you got some stick with it anyway. I think maybe I'll do a couple more minutes. We might do a breath hold for a minute or two to just focus, but this will be over soon because I typically will stay in until my quads and my lats start shivering. That typically puts me just close to the top of what my limit is, I think. Clarity is maintained. For someone that has, people that have, you know, their mind is always racing, is always looking, it's taking everything in. It's fun. You wouldn't change it for the world, but sometimes you've got to shut it off because it gets to be too much. Some people learn that. Some people are born with that. Some people have no idea, no clue whatsoever what that is. And honestly, I'm one of those. I was one of those anyway. And I'm so grateful. Okay, the quads are shaking. You can hear it in my voice. A lot of this ice is melting though. All right, that's it. We're done. So awesome. It's so awesome. Woo! All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the show. It was awesome.